And we are live.
All right. So you're ready to record. One, two, three, go.
All good.
All right.
All good.
Hello. Welcome to Nintendo Nostalgia, episode 123. I'm your host, Jacob Rush, and I'm joined by my co host, Ryan Black. And we are back and we are playing with Power. Everybody, welcome back. How you guys doing today? Ryan, man, how's your week been?
It's been long, really, really long.
Yeah.
I've not had a day off in a little bit, except for I don't know. Yesterday was insane. I worked the kennel, and then I went to a oddities and curiosities show in Indiana, and then I went and worked GameStop till close, and we stayed even after to do a marketing changeover, and it was a long day on my feet.
Man, yeah. That
And then
sounds
I got called in today because that's family-owned business, and my my mom took my dad to the hospital. He breathed in some stuff and had some kind of inflammation in his lungs. So yeah, that was what happened. But yeah, it's been a really busy, tiring week. I've gotten a little bit of gaming in on my phone, but not a lot of Switch time. So
That's a bummer. I'm sorry, man. Well, I'm sorry. It was a rough week. We all have them. But Ryan, we're not alone tonight. Today, just like last week, we had a newcomer guest to the show, Jeff Swan from Indie Nation. Go check out their stuff. But today we have Patrick from Nintendo Talk. Welcome to the show, Patrick. How you doing, man?
What is up? Thank you so much for having me, guys. Yes, Patrick from Nintendo Talk. Have a little YouTube channel. Thank you so much. We're about to talk about a great game.
Well, we are glad that you could join us today. I know we've been talking for a couple months now of getting this planned, and it's we're glad to have you on. We love mixing it up and having different guests on. So thank you for joining us.
No problem, man.
Well, guys, let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get to the one of our favorite segments. It's all about Radical Rexing. It's what have we been Radical Rexing about? All right, Patrick, since you are new to the show, why don't you go ahead first and, man, what's new and exciting on your mind as of late?
I am Radical Rexing about PAX East 2019. I just went. I only went for one day. I went for the last day, went for Sunday. But it was cool, man. It was like the first time I took like my channel outside of my room.
Yeah.
So it was like kind of more of like a professional setting. So it was really cool. I got to play a lot of games. And there's some good stuff, man. If you're a fan of indie games, a lot of good stuff coming. So
that's sweet. Pumped. So what was it like going there? Like was it like a music festival where there's like tons of people and
there was tons of people
playing, but
there was tons of people. I mean, like I said, like I went on Sunday and everything pretty much happens like Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
But there was a lot of there was limited run booth there. There was a few developers that, when I first started, they gave me codes to review games, and it was kind of cool. Like it was like full circle meeting them.
Yeah.
So just like really meeting some people, and I saw some YouTubers there. So it was cool, man.
Neat. Well, I'm glad you got to experience that. That's really cool. Not everyone gets to say they can go to those things, So
yeah,
awesome. Ryan, brother, I don't know if you have much to Radical Rex about. Sounds like, like I said, a tough week as of late, but you got anything that's got you excited, that makes you feel good as of late?
So, there was a big announcement this weekish that there's a VR mode coming to Breath of the Wild and Odyssey, but Breath of the Wild. I am super stoked to jump into this. They say you have to create a new game to experience it, but and I don't mind too much holding the Switch up to my face. I mean, I do that when I'm laying in bed anyway, pretty much. So, just it's like right here,
Yeah.
It might get tiring, but it's cool. I'm glad I get to experience Hyrule in a new way. And I'm ready to dive back into that. I started playing a little bit of Breath of the Wild today just to reacquaint myself with everything before I went and tried to throw in VR on top of it. So I went and I pre-ordered my VR kit. I wasn't necessarily going to, but then I heard about this and I went straight to GameStop and put the money down and paid it off because I'm getting this.
Nice.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, we can talk about that for a second. Like, I still don't really, maybe it's just me, but I don't understand the concept of it. Like, it doesn't still look that engaging to me. I mean, what am I looking at that's VR? Like, I think it'd be cool if I was like Mario or Link and they're through their eyes looking at the game, like a first person kind of thing. But like, I don't feel like I'm just looking at them closer. Like I don't understand the difference of what that's going to make it, how that's going to make it feel any, I don't know, VR elements to it.
It would be really hard to see in the VR perspective when you're being Link because of how all the back flips or the side jumps and stuff, like the timed, dodges and things. It makes it disorienting for VR. So they might have to take some of that stuff out. So maybe that would have dampened the experience with it being first person. But you never know. I mean,
I just don't see how it's more special than looking at it regularly than glued to my face. I don't know. Maybe there's a filter you can't see through watching a trailer, or I don't know.
It's pretty much like a gyro. You're just moving your head to see the world, which is cool. But if they did it like a first person, like all out, even if it was paid, man, I'd be all over that.
Yeah, that's definitely enough to warrant me to buy it. I haven't seen it. It's something I said in our Nintendo Nostalgia Crew chat. I'll need to test it out. Well, one of you suckers buy it, and then I'll test it out, and if I like it, maybe I'll buy it. But
one of my hopes is that they allow you to make your own head strap or something like that. It is Labo, so you can kind of make your own custom stuff to the cardboard. I really want to be able to just strap it to my head, pop off the Joy-Cons and play with, but you'd have to have the counterbalance in the back, and getting it comfortable would be challenging. But I'm kind of wanting to explore that space and see if I can do it. But that's all up to Nintendo enabling being able to use your Joy-Cons separated from the system and playing. So I'm kind of curious to see if they're going to allow that. I would imagine just opening the up for innovation. But yeah, I'm hoping to see that. I'm planning on getting the big kit with the elephant thing. I'm really excited to do the art with that. But the elephant's like the perfect shape to like make a Majora's Mask cutout over that and like look like Majora's Mask. So it's weird with a little trunk coming off of it, but I'm kind of excited to try that too.
That'd be interesting. For me, what have I been radical rexing about as of late? Well, I've still played some more Starlink, getting deeper into that game. The more I play it, overall, I really like the game. I know it is a great game. I love the way it feels. I love the way it looks and sounds. But the longer I play, the more issues I come across with it. For example, right now I'm basically forcing myself to finish out stuff because you get to this point in the game, there's spoilers where you have to like build up your alliance with people on all the planets in the solar system, and you basically have to go to all these planets and do all these little tiny tasks to build up your morale till you reach 100% on each planet. And it reminds me of like the Triforce from Wind Waker when you had to go fishing for all the Triforce pieces. You know how long and like miserable that was? That's what this feels like right now. And each planet, I feel like they look like these massive worlds, and you go on them and they're just very open and there's like nothing there, So there's little things like that I'm really like, nah. That sucks. I wish that was better. I am having, however, the combat is really fun when you get to fight a big boss, when you get to fight, when you have fights in space. That is really cool. Like you get to raid these villain ships and stuff, and that's really fun and challenging to do. So I've been able to do a bunch of that stuff, and overall, like I said, I'm really enjoying the game. I'm not dogging on it here, but it's had some moments to where it's like pulled itself back a little bit. I'm like, yeah, okay, I see some issues that I would not want in the next follow-up game if there ever was one, or the next Star Fox game. I do want Star Fox to be made just like this, like the next one. I think it'd be awesome if you could have this kind of open world experience with Star Fox. That'd be really cool. But maybe make the worlds a little bit more in depth. Like you go to a planet and there's like not even a civilization there, like it's just, like I said, a bunch of openness and some animals and ruins. Every planet has ruins. There's no cities. Like in Star Fox, there's cities on these planets and there's civilizations, and it'd be cool to get out and interact with them and stuff. So overall, I'm enjoying that. Another thing I'm radical rexing about is that, it's been a long time coming, but, the Lord has blessed my wife and I with, she got a promotion at her job as of Monday. And because of that, really helped open up our finances to the best they've been in quite a while.
Nice.
And so this week, it's been a crazy feeling of just like finally like having more money than we've had in a while, lately for a while, like money's just been super tight. And it's just always been like, can't buy this, can't buy that, or your money's gone by the time the next week starts after you just got paid. Whereas now we're able to, accumulate, get stuff paid off and save. So that's fantastic. But because of that, and to celebrate my wife, she's not a gamer by all means, but she knows that we played Yoshi's Woolly World together and Crafty World's coming out. So she went out and I was supposed to get it for Easter, but she went out and just bought it on Monday or it might have been last Sunday, I think. Actually, she just went out randomly and had some time to herself and came back with the game. And so I got that a month earlier than I expected. And we've played not a ton, we have with 2 kids, you can only play so much at a time, but we've played a little bit and it's been fun. And I'm excited to dive more into that game with her too. So that's what I've been excited about this week as of late. But I'm excited to see what else. The closer we get to E3, the more rumors start to spill out. I wonder if we're getting that direct this week. I keep seeing rumors of a direct on the 11th. I don't know. You can't trust rumors, man.
No.
As much as I want to believe it, I'm just like, I don't know.
Do we need one though? Do we need one? This year's like packed, man.
I don't think we do
Smash, need one. But that's about it.
But yeah, there's things at that point that we could get one for Smash. Because I'm with you. I've thought like at this point, I mean, we're pretty close to E3. It's like,
yeah,
why don't you just save everything you've got working? And
I think it's going to be Animal Crossing Direct. I think it's going to be a game-based Direct
for the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, wouldn't it be coming out in summer or something? And there's a lot to that game too. It wouldn't just be like a minute trailer, I don't think.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
That's a great point. So who knows? Maybe we'll get one this coming week. If you do, it'll be the day this episode drops. So that'd be sweet. If not, though, I'm not gonna be mad about it either. Like you guys said, we've got plenty to play, plenty to do. It's a busy time. I don't have enough money. Definitely have enough money to be buying all the games that get announced anyway. So
yeah,
but that's whatever. We'll see. So, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get into our topic at hand for this week, and it's brought to you, selected from Patrick himself. So today it's gonna be all about Wii Sports.
Yes, Wii Sports released. I'm looking it up now. November 19th, 2006. I was a little 13-year-old boy back then. And dude, I just remember the lead up to this, because this was launched, of course, when the Wii was released.
Yeah.
And now that I think about it, I kind of want to credit Reggie a little bit, because I think this was his first console that he was like in charge from the beginning, actually, like marketing and stuff. Yeah. But I remember wanting this so bad, and it came out around that time, and that was like on my list for Christmas. Didn't want anything else. And my mom sat me down basically, and she was like, listen, I can't get it. It's nowhere. Like, I don't know if you guys remember when the Wii came out.
Oh, yes.
It was barren. But someone actually like a week before Christmas returned it to Walmart because their kids didn't want it, or like grandkids didn't want it or something. So that's how I got it. We knew someone that worked at Walmart. So
good for you.
Wow.
But I wanted to bring this up because I feel like this game is super nostalgic for me. But I also want to, this might be bold to say, but I think this might be one of like in the top 5 most important Nintendo releases of all time. I really think like you look at like the N64 and GameCube, and it was all about power. And I feel like this was the first console and game to be, let's start having fun, because we can't compete power wise. I don't think the profit was there necessarily. So what do you guys think about that?
No, I mean, I agree with you, actually. I mean, that whole era of the Wii and the Wii U, it was all about party gaming, and it was all about playing games differently than we ever had before. So that disc that came with the Wii packed in was a genius idea because that alone sold. Let's be honest, it probably sold the majority of the Wiis that got sold out there. Like the reason why, how many Wiis got bought and sent to a nursing home because of that one game, and that's the only game that was ever in the system. You know what I mean? Like there are plenty of systems out there that was bought because of this game. So I think you're absolutely correct that it is a defining game for that generation of Nintendo for sure, and it's definitely one that will be glorified in the history books for Nintendo. I agree with that. Ryan, what do you have to say about that?
Yes, it was definitely very influential. It's like everybody and their grandmother knew this game. It was played across anywhere you had a TV, pretty much. Like, you know, nursing homes, colleges, like activity centers, just everywhere you could find this game somewhere. And it was encouraging people to move around and burn some calories and just have fun with people playing these simulated sports. It was definitely like revolutionary. You know, the Wii was a revolution. It really was. And Wii Sports was the perfect game to package in there. And it is like one of the best selling games of all time because it was packaged in with the Wii. And so good.
Yeah. I also want to say, like, I think it's the last like launch game to have like the staying power. Like I had a Wii with Wii Sports, and that's all I had for like the first 6 months. Like I don't think there's been like, I don't think the Wii U or Switch has a game that, especially a launch game like Breath of the Wild is great, but you can't just survive off Breath of the Wild. Like Wii Sports was a game, and maybe to a fault, that people didn't buy other games because it was like, well, I have the game, you know. And I don't know, it became, I feel like it became more than the Wii at some point.
I kid you not, people still stop into GameStop and ask to buy a Wii and get Wii Sports with it, and that's all they want. They just want the system and that, and that's just really powerful. Just say that people, like, after all this time, are still wanting to pick up that in the game.
Well, yeah, because people are nostalgic, like just like Patrick, they're nostalgic for it, you know. Like that's like me wanting to get. I have two of them, but like if I wanted to get a Nintendo 64, and I would want to get Banjo-Kazooie, you know, or Diddy Kong Racing, because those are my most nostalgic games for the system, or GoldenEye 007. That's what the Wii Sports is for the Wii. Probably above Mario and I'd say Zelda's up there because it came out with Twilight Princess. When I think of the Wii, I think of Twilight Princess. But yeah, that's the game people want. You know, like takes you back.
It's not every game that gives you a medical issue like a tennis elbow.
Yeah, or breaks your TV.
Yeah.
And I heard so many stories of the Wiimotes launching into TVs.
Yes. I do too. I did too. Ryan, why don't you take us down to your original memories with the game? Like, what do you remember when you first played this game or first saw it, and your first thoughts? Where were you when Wii Sports became a reality?
I did the midnight launch for the system, so I got it then. I took it home and we played it immediately.
Like 18 at that time?
I don't even know. I don't know. Yeah, 17, 18. No, I would have been 17 at the time, I believe.
Okay.
So,
about to turn 18.
Yeah, it was in senior year of high school. So
crazy, dude.
But we played a lot of bowling. I think that's like the number one game that I've played is bowling. Like everywhere I've taken it. Like I was pretty portable with my GameCube, so my Wii went everywhere too. So I would put it on anywhere there was a TV and get people to join in and party and play that.
Oh yeah, I so remember that, dude. Like I remember in the GameCube days when we used to we had the portable screen that we could attach, and like we'd go to the movie theater and wait. We'd get tickets to a movie that started like 2 hours later, an hour later, and we would sit in the alleyway of the movie theater and just hook your GameCube up to like a little outlet, and we could play Smash or whatever right there while we're waiting. Oh, dude, those were the days. I loved that. But awesome. This is not about that stuff. This is about the Wii Sports. For me, I got it for Christmas. At this time, I was 16. It was my freshman year of high school, and Patrick, normally everyone on this show as a guest is like way older than me. So it's like the first time I've had someone just a little bit younger than me on the show like this. It's a little surreal, but I remember getting it my freshman year, and I remember my mom like leading, because I know how hard they were hard to get, and I put full faith in my mom. I was like, my mom won't let me down. She's gonna get it for me. She's gonna get it, And my mom kept, leading me on, basically saying like, don't get your hopes up. Like it's hard to find. I'm like, you got this, Mom. You'll get it, and just kind of like laugh at it. And she's like, don't say that because you don't know. But I just had full faith, and lo and behold, long story short, Christmas morning, I did have a Wii waiting for me. It's, one of my best friends, Daniel, his name's Daniel. I remember that same Christmas morning, he was pretty jealous because he did not have a Wii waiting for me. He had Wii games, Wii controllers, Wii accessories.
Oh no!
And a note from Santa saying, "Sorry, I couldn't get you one, and I'll get you. Here's everything else but the Wii."
He was not alone.
Oh yeah. I mean that just sucks. You know what I mean? Like how much more painful. Here's everything, all the games you won, stuff, but we don't have the system. Here's the car, but there's no engine. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I do remember getting mine, and it came at a cool time for me too, because back then I was I used to wrestle in high school, and I ended up breaking my pinky, and I had to have surgery on it, and which took me out for the rest of the year. Couldn't wrestle anymore. I had surgery and put pins in, so I had this big cast on my hand, and I can still see the scars actually on my pinky from that thing. But anyways, I had the scars on my hand, on my pinky, but it fit just right to where I could put like the Wiimote in my little hand like this. And so I could still play these games and still game with it.
I remember this. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a cool experience to just be able to, I mean, it wasn't cool that I broke my finger, but it was cool that,
You had Wii Sports.
I had, when a lot of stuff was eliminated from me, I could play this new system, you know what I mean? And the Wii was really cool, like that. I just remember seeing how I used to think the system was pretty sexy looking, honestly, like compared to how like the older systems looked. Like this was like, it was sleek, it was white, and they had like the other colors too, like they had red, blue, green, like they were advertising on that black. And the controller, even though it wasn't a traditional control, it just looked so futuristic. It was like, man, this is new groundbreaking stuff. And the Wii was very just mesmerizing, and it was cool, at the start to experience all that. But with Wii Sports, in general, I remember just getting it with the system. I obviously had Zelda with it as well at launch, but it's really cool that I could open up my Wii and play that my mom and dad wanted to play. My brothers that were older and didn't really game anymore, that they wanted to play. And it's probably one of the first times where like the whole family wanted to play Nintendo with me on Christmas. Like typically, like when I get Christmas stuff, it was like I needed to take my Nintendo stuff into the other room and not take up the main TV, because everyone to watch their new shows or movie or whatever. But this was the first time I just got to hook up the new system straight right there and out of the box into the new TV, and we all just played, and we played for a long time, and it was really cool and fun to see like my mom get competitive, she don't play games. My dad even getting competitive and trying to play bowling, and it's just like, you know what I mean? Like it is a surreal experience. It's a fun time, So I am happy that Nintendo broke ground here and really struck gold with letting a lot of people have fun with this who don't play games,
especially when like this was, the 360 was out. It was like a very two different sides in gaming. It was like the hardcore side. I remember my friend was like, why did you get a Wii? Like I have a 360, I'm playing Gears of War, and you're like you're playing golf over there.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think for me though, nostalgia starts with a lot of things. The sounds of the game, the announcer and just the soundtrack was great for the game. But also another thing was Mii's. That was like the first introduction. And we were all waiting for it too, because Xbox had their avatars, and that just made the game so much better. Because you would go on like the Check Me Out channel, or you would like try and create celebrities and stuff, and you'd be like, you'd be playing baseball with like Michael Jackson. It just gave that game more longevity, and it was just something that wasn't even really a part of the game.
It's so true, man.
It was crazy.
It was funny because I was in the midst of youth group days back then, so like everyone in the youth group would be like, we'd try to make like Jesus, or Moses, and it is funny when like it's you versus here comes Jesus, up to bat or whatever, or boxing you or whatever, you know what I mean? It was really funny. It was really cool to do all that. I forgot, honestly, I completely forgot about just creating your Miis because I haven't done it in so long. And it was really cool to see how accurate I could get. I remember making my mom and dad, and like it was just super accurate, like with how we got it matched up to them. I was like, that really looks like you in a game. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Jacob, I have a confession.
What's that, Ryan?
I never felt like your Mii looked like you ever. Never did.
Yeah, I don't think it really did either, to be honest.
I have some memories with that. I would go to my student center at college, and I would hook it up to the big TV there in the big like activity area. And people would come along like, what are you playing? I'm like, oh, I'm bowling. You want to join in? So I hand off a Wiimote and we'd start playing together. And then they saw that my character looked like me and like, hey, can I make a character? And so he made a character. And then some other people joined in and they started making characters. So my Wii is just full of all of my college friends that I'd hang out with. Like,
that's
all
awesome.
have their characters in there. And I made friends with these people, and I've always think of them often, and we talk a lot. And so that's really cool to have that experience again, and to keep those friendships starting with Nintendo. And like just like I said, bowling was the biggest one, but we would have some epic boxing matches with each other.
Real quick, why don't we haven't really talked about, like, let's go down the list. What were all the games that were included on that disc? So obviously bowling was the most popular. We had tennis. I think tennis was next in line as most popular.
That was cool.
I think I know it was in my household. We had boxing, and then what? And then it was just golf. Was it those four?
Baseball and golf.
Baseball and golf. So 5. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Boxing was fun, but I think it was not quite there yet until they added like that Wii Motion Plus.
Yep.
I think it was a little bit quite laggy. Like it didn't work properly, I think, all the way through. Baseball was not really a popular one in my household. We didn't really play that much. Golf was fun to test out and to really do. But I didn't really have a ton of fun playing it the most. Like I said, I think bowling and tennis are the most exciting, at least maybe depending on the head. If you're a big golf family, you may love golf, but at least in my household that was that the same for you guys?
Yeah, probably bowling would rank first. My dad really liked golf. He liked it so much he ended up buying some of the Tiger Woods games on the Wii as well.
Nice.
Baseball was fun too, just because like I said, you would make like 100 or so Miis and you'd be like, who's on my team this time? And I think that was like the big draw of that. So yeah, I would say probably bowling, then baseball. Boxing, I never really played like a ton of, just because we didn't have a second nunchuck for like the longest time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Ryan, what about you, man?
Bowling was the primary one. We did some tennis. I was really good at the tennis, so most people didn't like playing that with me. But then they started, like at college, started getting better at it, and then I wasn't able to do anything against them. So we just went back to bowling, where I was king.
Well, this came out at such the perfect time. The holidays is a great time to get this, just because like for my family, we always throw on a New Year's Eve party. So then just imagine leading up to that and having everyone over and like, hey, everyone, we're pulling out the Wii bowling and everyone's playing it all night. Like it's just good times keep going on. Talking about it makes me want to pull it out and play, because my wife ain't a gamer. So it's like, I do remember playing that when we first started dating back in late high school, that we used to play that bowling and stuff with our family. And man, it is, I guess that, why don't we start segueing to that, like where's Nintendo now with this kind of game? And, is this something that they will continue to push forward? Because I do feel like the Wii U drug out the Wii name too long and the brands, and I think people just kind of got sick of. I know personally, I got sick of hearing anything with Wii, anything with the Mii Maker. I just wanted that stuff to go, because I felt like Nintendo, unfortunately, I do feel like it unwrapped some fool's gold because everyone wanted to capture what Wii Sports did. So the Wii was famous for having shovelware beyond shovelware that did not sell, which made other companies just not want to make stuff for Nintendo. It was always underpowered, and you just couldn't capture the magic that Nintendo stole right out the gate. And I feel like the Wii ultimately gave Nintendo a bad rap in the gaming world because people stopped looking at them as a hardcore gaming system, that they don't play real games. They don't play, they can't compete in the big leagues with PlayStation and Xbox. Fast forward, obviously now the Switch has proved that wrong, and I feel like Nintendo is stronger than they've been in years. And I think they're set up for a bright future with that. I don't think it's fool's gold here with a tablet. I think that is the future. I think that was a wise move. And we're getting tons of hardcore games from third parties from Nintendo, pulling games from the past. Like I feel like Breath of the Wild, it did the same thing Ocarina of Time did. It just revolutionized a franchise. Mario Odyssey built off what Mario 64 did, which revolutionized the 3D platform. Like I just see all these reawakenings from Nintendo's history. But the one thing you haven't seen yet, I feel like they tried to do with 1-2 Switch, wasn't really popular. I mean, it sold well because it was a launch game, but I don't feel like 1-2. Like I played 1-2 Switch one time, had a fun time with it the first night, but after I was done with it, honestly, that was about it. I really don't even feel that it's to like, man, if that game came on sale for $20, I'd really want to go get it. Like, not really, So is Nintendo taking the right direction? Because I think having a game like Wii Sports, I do think it's important. I think it is. You should still have the accessibility for people like my wife who don't game to want to have something for them to game. And while you still, their main focus should be on what they are doing, with the hardcore gaming scene. So, what do you guys think? Where's Nintendo at right now with this? Ryan, let's start with you this time. And we'll go around to Patrick here. Are they doing a good job right now, or is it a little lackluster from Nintendo in this field?
The way I see it, the motion generation is a bit overplayed, and it's still kind of sitting on people's minds as just overdone. So I'm seeing that. I think later in the Switch's life, they'll start coming out with the motion-based games more heavily. So we might see a Switch Sports come out, and that would sell pretty well, I would think. Especially they kept the price as low as it was. I mean, it was free in that case, but like around $20 or something. People would jump all over that, especially if it's just like a port of the original one with a little better controls. I think that would be ideal. So I think that's kind of where I see everything going. But it's not something that's going to come now. People are still pretty put off by emotion and everything. It was a fun gimmick, but it was well overplayed and well overdone. And I think they need to take some time and wait wait for that to die down a bit before they bring back the nostalgia factor there.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Switch. Obviously, it's great, but I think that they've really missed the mark on the casual side of things. Like, if you look at like the quote unquote casual games, they're not really that casual. Like Mario Kart is not really a casual game. Like my mom or dad couldn't ever beat me in a race in Mario Kart, and like ARMS has a lot of technicalities to it. Mario Party is very empty. Like people wouldn't want to go out and do that. So I almost think that they should bring something like this back. I mean, and I even think they can do it for free. Like, I mean, you look at Tetris 99 and if that game is like $3.99, $4.99, even $5.99, I don't think it has the same, impact as like a free Tetris 99. So you come out with, like you were saying, like Switch Sports, and then you could even add in some 99 cents for a Mario hat on your Mii or something like that. Like they can get their money from it, but add it to the online service. I think it's been long enough where motion control might excite some people. I don't know. There's a big divide with motion control.
Yes, and there is some people that's saying they'd like to go back and play Skyward Sword, so that I'm kind of seeing that motion forgiveness, if you will, or maybe they never did motion at the time. So we're seeing some positive things. At least I've been seeing it in my circles, but I don't think it's quite there yet. But it'd be interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah,
Patrick, I think that's a great idea. Actually, I didn't even think about that. Like with the online play, even though it's not like they're reigning champs now in the online world by all means, but they have better online now than they've ever had. And
Yep.
dude, that would be so cool if I could boot up and have switch me sports and I'm bowling against my buddy who lives in another state or who lives across the city, you know, or I'm bowling with say my mom did have a Switch and we were just bowling online, you know, even though you're not in the same, I know Nintendo's all about the in-room stuff. You can still have that. I mean, those Joy-Cons, it's got HD rumble, like they're more precise than a Wii remote ever was. And that's the whole purpose of them, you know, like it's built to do that stuff. So man, that's a great idea. I love that actually. I think that would be a grand idea. Have just like they can just add sports to it over time, you know. Maybe you start off with the 5 and then here's another one. Here's another one.
Free really surprised me when you said that. It didn't dawn on me that it would be free. Like
unfortunately, I think it has to. I think Wii Sports as a legacy, like you think of it and you think of, I got that free with my Wii. Like I don't think that Nintendo could get away. Like if you look at Wii Sports Club, that was a big flop, man. And that was like full price. And then they had that model where it's like you could choose what sports you want to buy, and it was just like they went at that totally wrong. But I think we're in the free generation. Free games get people excited. You can go right, you know, you can download a game right away, and you know it's trending on Twitter, and like I feel like it would make a big splash.
It could be free, and then what you said, like you pay to kind of like what Miitomo could have been. You pay to deck your character into these other outfits. Maybe you can get a Breath of the Wild t-shirt or a Breath of the Wild bowling ball when you go up and bowl. You know what I mean? Like, or deck out your baseball bat or your boxing gloves. You can customize it, and that's where the money comes in, by customizing as much as you want for your little dude. And that's cool. That's a great idea.
Would you tie that to the online service? Like you sell a Switch with Wii Sports and you get like X amount of months for online service, and that's included with the online service. And you can use Wii Sports tied to the online. Or would you say you don't have to have the online? The casual people aren't necessarily going to pay for the membership, so just leave it open to everybody. What would you think?
I think the online makes it appealing just because, like, I mean, we could be bowling right now, all three of us. Like,
absolutely.
I could see like a Wii Sports pack in. Like Nintendo loves to do they did a Fortnite pack in, when in actuality it's a free game. You're just getting like the V-Bucks or whatever. So like, I don't know, maybe you have a pack in where it's like Switch Sports with exclusive Switch t-shirt. I don't know. But like online would excite me more. I don't know if they would release like a local free game. I don't know. Maybe there can be a local mode, but
yeah, I mean, I would love to be able to, if I did take that we always have like some NOS crew hangouts here where all the guys come over and we game. It would be, I think it needs to have that as well too. We play local play like that. But
play on rooftops, you know.
Oh yeah, you know, because we always do that. But no, that's great stuff, man. I really like that. And to be honest, for how much of a big of a legacy it is, I won't be surprised if we see this, because like we said, I feel like Nintendo built the Switch to be able to do a million different things with these Joy-Cons. Look what they're doing with all the Labo stuff. You know, it's like I never thought my Joy-Con would be used to like sit in this piece of cardboard and just for it to turn to make some effect in a digital game. Like it's genius what they're doing. And it's Nintendo. I won't be surprised if we see a game like this. If they do this exact same thing, you heard it here first, folks. It was Patrick's idea.
Maybe we shouldn't release this episode, guys. Let's package this to Nintendo and
let's get some money out of this. Come on,
some royalties. Yeah,
that's right.
How do you guys think about Mii's though? Mii's are.
I mean, they're still on the system.
We still have them.
They're buried on the system though. I think something that will be telling would be if they launch the next OS. Is that the right word for it? The UI, that's the word I'm looking for. The new update to the Switch with like, you know, whether it has themes or anything like that. Are the Mii's going to be there? Are they going to be updated? Are they going to be something completely different? What are we going to see there? It is an integral part of Wii Sports. Some people call it Mii Sports because it's all Mii's, you know. So they do exist on the system. I know Nintendo kind of wanted to get away from that. So maybe we won't see the Mii's necessarily, but some other kind of avatar but we might. I mean, it's on the system, so they could bring it to the forefront. It's buried in menus right now, but it could really come to the forefront if they wanted to do this sports thing. And maybe that was the only thing that they show up for. Occasionally, I think you'll see Mii's in Mario Kart. Maybe I think you can anyway.
Oh, yep.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, when the Switch first came out, like I would have had a totally different answer for you. You know, when the Switch came out, like I said, I was like, I had a Wii U and I enjoyed it for what it was, but I was really just angry at what I felt like that Nintendo went after, like I could say, is fool's gold. And I wanted anything with Wii or me, I wanted it out of my sight. Like I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see Nintendo go in a different direction and do exactly what they're doing. With that said, you know, a couple years in the future, now that the Switch is a success, and looking like I didn't ever like the Mii's being in Smash Bros. But now when I look at them, I'm like, you know, I do like them now. Like I don't mind them so much being there because they are a part of the Nintendo history. Like you said, like I can remove myself from the emotion of the Wii U's failure and see like, yeah, you know what? Like that is a staple part of their past now. And I think it should be recognized just as much as like Mario or the Ice Climbers. You know, I mean, if you can get characters like that in Game Watch. Game Watch is a critical part of Nintendo's history. It's not popular today, but you know, he's in Smash, and I'm glad the Mii's are there. You know, so I am still not in favor. Like I don't want Mii's to take over and run up on my Switch gamepad when I turn it on, like my Wii U does every time. My daughter, the only thing we use our Wii U for anymore is so she can watch Netflix in a separate room. And every time, and she's like almost 3, but every time I turn it on, she goes, "My friends," like they're like, all of my friends are here, is what she says every time. It's so funny, so cute, but
adorable.
It is adorable.
Little parade on your birthday and stuff.
Oh yes, you know,
that's gone away, man. Like Nintendo's lost some charm. They've gotten their fans back, but they've definitely lost some charm. Like, I mean, the eShop music and like the Wii was full of personality. Like every channel had bangers like for songs.
That's what's so weird is that people looked at Nintendo being lazy by not going in on high graphic systems, whereas they weren't lazy at all. I mean, they did a lot of work. Like you said, the little things like music for the channel. You're right. There is no music when I go into the eShop. There's nothing, which I don't need it, but it is cool to have those little tiny things too, you know? And man, that's good stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll get some stuff for a Wii Sports style thing moving forward. I don't think they're by far at all done with that. I think they've just been playing their cards in a different way than they have in past generations, you know? So, Patrick, though, I would love for you to just take a moment, tell everyone where they can find you and what you do, and just a little bit about yourself here. And then Ryan will round us out.
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter at Nintentalk. I have a YouTube channel, Nintentalk. I have a live podcast every Sunday with Bobby the Nintendo Guru and Joe After Work. I do
Except some speculation because he canceled to be with us.
Yeah, jerks.
Forget you guys.
It's like I have more important things to do, but do some reviews, some speculation stuff, and a couple months we'll get back to live streaming. So a lot going on. Try to push out videos.
Cool.
Hard sometimes, but
no, trust me, brother. We don't even have one up if that tells you how hard it is. You know? So we feel you there. Ryan, why don't you go ahead and do our due diligence, man?
Sure thing, man. You can find us over at our home on the Nintendo Village, nintendovillage.com/Nintendo Nostalgia. And also you can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts and Google Play. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Nintendo NOS, on our Twitter at Nintendo_NOS. Shoot us an email at NintendoNostalgiaIN@gmail.com. Of course, you can find us on YouTube where you're watching us now. And also, you can find us on our Instagram at NintendoNOSIN. Guys, that brings us to the end of the episode this week. We will see you next week. Have a great week.
Bye.
Awesome.
Perfect. I'm